Welcome, everyone, to this episode of Unavoidable, Adventures in Aging, where Sue and Shan, two Midwest and past middle-aged sisters, discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of aging. With a little humor, a little heart, and occasionally a little frustration, we'll explore the unavoidable adventures we experience as we move into our golden years. Yeah, golden years, my ass. Just a note to our listeners, this podcast reflects the opinions and experiences of Sue and Shan. The main purpose of this podcast is intended to entertain.
We are going.
We are going. Okay.
I always surprise you, don't I?
You
kind
do.
of scare you.
I know. And you would think that after this many episodes, we would know that. So this is going to be a very special one for us. This is our first Podversary, we're calling it.
Yes.
April 1st, 2024, right?
Correct.
Was our very first launched podcast.
It was.
So we have been at this for a year.
I can't believe it.
I can't either. But time just in general is going so fast.
It is.
And I've heard that from so many different people. So it's gone very fast. And we have learned so much.
That we have.
We go back to that first episode, the one about AARP sponsoring the Rolling Stones.
Yes.
And we had to do that one 5 times.
Yeah.
Before.
Loses a lot in spontaneity.
It does.
When you do it.
I think we've only had to redo one since then, and that was just a couple weeks ago. Maybe we haven't progressed as much as I thought.
As we thought.
So this is our 53rd episode. And yeah, I guess there was just that 1 week that we didn't, because there's 52 weeks in a year.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've actually done, no matter what, 52 episodes, right? Because we don't count the ones. There's been a couple weeks where we didn't launch anything. One was that week when Tim's mom passed away.
Uh-huh.
And then one just a couple weeks ago when I was so darn sick that I just couldn't even worry about it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's better. We're like better than when we went to work.
I know. Yeah.
We don't call in sick very often.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
If at all.
Nope. So I think we've done so well in this last year. We're still enjoying it. We're still getting positive feedback.
And we're working right now to really get our name out there and do those kind of things. So it's like we worked a lot on the technical part that first year, big time. We learned so much. And now we're going to get busy on the marketing part. And, but we do, so far, all of it ourselves. But we're game for help.
Yeah. That was a cool part of when we were filling out that application for NPR. And one of the unique things that we thought about us, and you had said this, was that we have done it all. We write it. We produce it. We are cheerleaders for each other.
We market it. We are the IT gurus. Every bit of it. Researchers.
Research.
Yeah, we are top of the line researchers.
When we choose to. Yeah, I didn't even think about that we could have put that in there. Yeah. So we've done all of that ourselves.
We have.
And we're wanting to have somebody else help us out with those things.
Very much so.
Are you ready to give up all that?
Heck yeah. Oh, God, yeah. If all I did was meet with you on a Friday afternoon, have a drink, and talk for 45 minutes, that would be just the best of every world.
Yeah. Not having to wonder or worry about scheduling.
I suppose we should, though, if it comes to that, when it comes to that, we do need to retain some of our artistic licensing. Yes, that we make that final decision on our artistic.
Yes.
Whatever the heck you call that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a synonym expert just so we can
come
up with words for other words.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do.
So anyway, we're trying something again new today.
Yes.
And again, this is Shan's expertise when it comes to the technical part of this. So she found a way that she can go in and just pull clips from different episodes.
Yes.
And she'll play a clip and then we'll talk about what that episode meant to us, give the name of the episode if we can, and just a little background information.
I think after doing this, I'm going to go ahead and just name what episode it is.
Yeah.
Because there's so many of them.
That's true.
And even though our memory is stellar, it may not work as well as we want it to. So I'm thinking I'll go ahead and give us the episode.
Okay.
I could even tell which one it came from, like
Yeah.
number first season.
Okay.
We're hoping this works.
Oh, yeah, yes. And if it doesn't, you'll
Plan
never
B.
know because we won't broadcast it.
You have no clue.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
here we go. So when we do this, and it's one of those, in the end, it will be just perfect. However, for right now, we're going to listen to the clip. I have to insert the clip later. But
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah.
Okay. So this first one comes from our episode Emotions, Emotions, Emotions.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
That was our number 16. So
Okay.
the 16th one that we did. So here it is.
Don't be afraid to go out and get counseling, to go and start taking antidepressants.
We talked about that. There's a stereotype, maybe not as much in our age group, but the older age group. Oh, counseling. Oh, depression. Oh,
Yeah.
My family. Exactly right. And if you're going to a counselor of any type, it's because you're crazy.
Yes.
And it's a terrible word.
Yes.
That is a terrible word. Yes, know that it is just one more piece of our good health. The mental is one more piece of good health. And so we've got to make sure that we're addressing every piece of our health.
Yes,
Including the mental part.
because the mental can influence the physical
The physical.
and vice versa.
Yeah, true.
Because if you're feeling sick and crappy, and then you're going to feel yucky about yours. It's all the way you put it. They're all pieces that fit together, and you really do have to think of all of those things.
All of them. I remember that one being a little bit tough.
I think
Emotions.
it was.
Yeah.
It was. And because I think in that episode, I had just started taking an antidepressant.
Oh.
And because I put that on the back burner, it's no big deal. It's not that bad. And I was just feeling gray all the time. No ups, no downs, just flatline.
Yeah, flatline.
I was watching one of my medical shows last night. Yeah. Oh no, she's flatlining. But so that was, and didn't we put in some stuff too from that movie Inside Out?
Inside Out. It
Yes.
might have been in that episode.
I think so.
Yes.
Because I had watched that, and yet the emotions you feel as you age are intensified.
Agreed.
They seem to happen more often, more of, and
More severe, maybe.
yes, I
Yeah.
think more severe.
Intensified, severe.
Yeah.
It makes. We've talked about too, or somewhere along Why This, Why Now
Yes.
is one of our episodes that we did, and we talked about this kind of, the podcast became a little bit of our counseling session. It got us together, it got us talking, it gave us both something to look forward to every week.
Every week. Yeah.
I get
Definitely.
so excited anyway for Friday afternoon, and Sue's
Yes.
coming over, and here we go.
Yeah.
So it helped tremendously.
And that, along with I Used to Be Somebody, that was a hard one for me, for both of us, I think.
It was.
But after we did those episodes and everything else, but I don't feel that as much anymore.
I agree.
I've come to terms with it. I accept it.
I seem to have more purpose.
Yes. Yes. And just that self-acceptance that you
Yes.
didn't know. Because when you go through all of this, you think, am I the only one?
Always, yes.
And through this, and then through people responding to some of these, very definitely no, you are not the only one. Most of us are feeling these things. So that was a good
Awakening?
awakening. Yes, counseling thing for me.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Some of these clips, too, it's probably a repeat. One or two might have come out of the same episode.
Oh, okay.
So just to let you know.
They were good episodes, so go back. If you haven't listened to all of our episodes,
Exactly.
go back and listen to them.
We're doing a commercial for the whole year.
Exactly.
So listen to this one and then go, oh, yeah, I remember that, and listen to it again.
Yes.
Or say, ooh, I should have listened to it, and go back and listen for the first time.
Good point.
There we
Good
go.
Point.
Okay, so this next one that I have is from Let Me Hear Your Body Talk.
It started.
That was just our second episode.
Was it really?
Yeah, so if the sound is bad, it was.
Yeah. You're not imagining
You're
it.
not imagining a thing. It was bad.
Yeah.
Let Me Hear Your Body Talk. And do you remember you started that one with Olivia Newton-John?
Yes.
From that song, and it was a video that she did. Let Me Hear Your Body Talk. Here we go.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to wrap this one up, I think, with a thought. And I would just tell everybody out there to don't be embarrassed by your body talking. You have earned every sound that it makes. Because if you don't do some of these sound effects, we might just combust.
Oh, that was a shorter
That was
one.
a short one.
Yeah.
Some of them are almost a minute long, and that one was 22 seconds.
Yeah.
What our take on that was, as you get older, your body does start to make all these noises, and you start making all these noises. The groaning when you sit down or stand up. The
Talking to yourself.
talking to
Little
yourself.
snippets.
Then just the unexpected fart here and there.
Oh, gosh, yeah. When you really don't want it to happen.
When you just stand up and there it goes.
You cough, and there it goes.
There it goes.
You sneeze, and there it goes.
Yeah, yeah. What was that one that I told you the other day? One of those stupid memes. If you sneeze and fart at the same time, your body's taking a snapshot. Of what? I don't know. But those things can also be very dangerous as you get older. Because I think we talk about Dad when he was leaving for work and he stepped down. He was going down the steps in front of the house. He was taking a step and he sneezed at the same time. He was in traction for almost a week.
Threw his back out.
Threw his back out.
It did.
So,
So maybe the moral of the story is don't do two things at the same time. Or
Yeah.
something. Or make sure you moan at every opportunity. Tim's mom, it was, oh boy. Oh
That's
boy.
right.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Everything that Gretchen did, standing up, oh boy. Oh boy. Going down the hall to the bathroom, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Going to the bathroom, oh boy. Oh boy. All the time.
that's what it does. And I think one that I noticed in me that I told you about was, ouch.
Oh, yeah.
Even if I don't really hurt myself, but I might knock over a glass. Oh, ouch.
Ouch.
Or bump into the table. Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
It's just this reaction
It-
that I
it
think
just
I
comes
need
out.
to. And go ahead.
We were talking about Dr. Rick.
I was just
You were
going to
just gonna
ask you
say
about that.
Dr. Rick from the commercials for Progressive.
Progressive insurance, I think. Yes.
And when you're becoming your parents.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it is so true.
yeah.
And they're one of those commercials where they're saying something to a complete stranger. No, they don't need to know.
They don't care if you're from Nebraska.
Yeah,
They,
exactly.
they don't care if you were a teacher for 30-some years.
They don't care that you just bumped your knee.
Yeah. And said, ouch.
Ouch.
So that's if you haven't seen Dr. Rick.
Dr. Rick.
Yeah, because he's always got him on in different situations.
I'm sure you can YouTube it.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
Yes, Dr. Rick.
Dr.
Look
Rick.
it up.
Yep.
Because I can guarantee everyone, you're going to go, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
That's me. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's me. Yeah.
And just naturally, your body, it snaps and crackles and pops a lot.
It does.
And I was telling you, my knee, we both had knee replacement.
Mm-hmm.
My knee still, I
Yeah.
can still hear it when
Yeah.
I walk.
Yeah.
The
It took a couple of years because I can remember asking somebody else
huh?
the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like mine, it just blinked
Yeah.
all the time. I
Yeah.
thought, first of all, nobody else can hear it, by the way.
Okay.
Just you. So maybe it's
Okay.
not even a sound, but I don't know,
Yeah.
action.
Yeah, I
Way.
can feel it too.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
she said, oh, yeah, it goes for a long time. So then when you said something to
Uh-huh.
me, I realized mine wasn't doing it anymore. And so yours
Oh.
was.
Okay.
But yeah. It
So
goes for a
it
long
will
time.
stop eventually.
Eventually.
Okay. All right.
It will.
Listen to Your Body Talk. Was that the name of the episode?
Let Me Hear Your Body
Let
Talk.
Me Hear Your Body
That
Talk.
was her
Only
song.
the second one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go again then.
Okay.
All
so
right.
this one comes from I Used to Be Somebody.
Okay.
And that was our third one. That was our third
Really?
episode. Yeah.
And that's one that we put off because...
Oh, yeah. It was so tough.
Yeah, it really was.
We paused. I remember when we were making this one, we paused 2 different times having to do with getting into some teary subjects.
Yeah.
And that fear in our mind was I used to be somebody, thinking that we were no longer anybody.
Yes.
And I think, again,
Yeah.
a little bit of that therapy, talking together and then hearing from other people.
Yeah.
Everyone feels the same way.
They do. And I wanted to add in the beginning here, our dad was a physical therapist for years. Dad's been gone since 2013.
Yes.
And I have mentioned several times that I do the help with the night classes at our local community college. One of the classes is, I think, anatomy and physiology.
Oh, sure.
And the instructor is one of the physical therapists at the hospital.
Oh, okay.
And the first time that I met him, and this is one of those Dr. Rick things, giving more information. And
Than anybody wants.
Yeah. I said, my dad was a physical therapist. His license number was like, 5?
Yeah.
Really low.
Single digit. I know that.
Yeah. And just from that, he said, "Oh, Dick Ellis?"
Oh.
I said, "Yeah." And they still talk about him up there.
Oh.
And he really was. He was funny. People really liked him.
They did.
So he was still somebody after
There you
all
go.
these years. And the other person is you.
Oh.
Again, at
didn't do it.
WNCC, when Shan was working at the high school, she was in charge of the dual credit students. And these were the, juniors, seniors?
Mainly seniors.
Okay.
A few juniors, but mainly seniors.
Yes. And they could take these classes through the college, and it counted towards...
Both high school credit
Okay.
and then college credit.
And college credit.
So they may be taking an English class through WNCC. It was also their senior English at the high school. And it's also half price, half tuition because they're high school students. So many benefits.
Yes, it really is. And it was quite a balancing act because you had to work with us up at the college at Alliance, plus Scotts Bluff, because they're the main campus, plus the high school campus.
Right.
Getting all of that juggled and then put into place, it takes a lot of organization.
Right.
And every year since Shan left, they've had trouble with this program.
Oh.
Because some of those pieces are missing.
And there's a lot of pieces
Exactly.
to this puzzle. Yeah.
And the ones who are in charge of it aren't picking up the pieces.
Oh.
And so this happened just this fall when the new classes started. And there were several people, both at the Alliance campus and 2 or 3. But still,
Several?
Yeah. And at the Scotts Bluff campus who said, "We miss Shannon."
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Wow.
When Shannon was in charge of this program, it ran smoothly.
Wow.
So, yes, you are still somebody. So I think that was the point that we wanted to get across
to everyone.
At the end, was that you feel like you've lost touch, or you think other people have lost touch with who you were, whether it was professionally or socially or whatever. To come to that realization that, no, you're not the be-all and end-all anymore. Not that we ever were, but we felt like we were.
Yeah, we were important. Yeah.
I think that was the big takeaway for both of us.
Yeah, it was.
On this one.
It was. To realize we were still somebody.
We were, yes.
Okay,
Here's the clip.
Even if I were to say I used to be somebody, I got to realize, and I was pretty damn good at it.
Exactly.
I was good at being somebody. We all were.
And people have those memories of us, of everyone. I get to thinking, oh, I'm the only one who feels this way. Get off the pity potty. But everybody goes through this as you age.
Another short one,
That-
22-second one.
Okay.
I know that this particular episode,
Uh-huh.
for myself,
Yeah.
you can say for you as well, but it started me on the journey of podcasting because when we did this episode, the light bulb went on in my head. Yeah, I'm not at the high school anymore. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm so many more things.
Yes.
And embrace it and go with it.
Yeah.
It was the one that the
That
catalyst
really-
of getting me going
Yes.
with this.
I think this was for me too.
Yeah.
And just like you said, now we're somebody to someone who's listening to these podcasts.
There you go. Exactly.
That's one of the comments that we hear is, and I think I just said this about the last one, but I thought I was the only one
Right.
experiencing this or feeling this or whatever.
Yeah, we've heard that a lot.
We have. So if we can be that little light that goes on in your head saying, oh, I'm not knucking futz.
I'm not ducking butts.
I am just aging. Yeah.
Exactly.
That was a very good episode. And when I tell people about the podcast and they haven't heard about it yet, and I usually will ask them to start with why now, the journey, and then this one of I used to be somebody.
Yes.
Because whenever I mention the theme of this program to people, I don't care how old they are, they have these feelings along the way. You know, I was a star high school athlete.
Yes. Yeah.
Now I'm in college and I don't do much athletics anymore.
That's interesting. That it is at every age, isn't it?
It really
And when we
is.
did this, I think we so much felt like, oh, this is just about older people being older, that you used to be somebody. But you're right. Just that transition from high school into college.
Yes.
It's a huge transition.
Yeah. College into the workforce,
Forcibly.
whatever.
Yes.
At every stage of your life, I think you'll go through some of these feelings.
Yeah. And for any of us that had children, we also found out that at one point you went from being Sue Gerdue to being Scotty's mom.
Exactly.
It was okay.
Yeah.
But that was a part of the life was,
That's right.
okay, you're nobody else but Scotty's mom.
That's right. That's
So
right.
that happens
so
a
true.
lot.
Okay, here
Okay,
we go
next
with another
one
one.
up, Death and Dying,
Okay.
episode 8.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's also interesting. So episode 8, got to hopefully pick the right one.
I think I want to encourage people to be very realistic about your own death. What do you want? And please be sure to communicate that to others
Yes.
who will be there with you
Yes.
at the time. And it's so important that I think that you honor people's wishes at that time. But both of us, I think, have dealt with all the paperwork.
Oh, yes. A lot of paperwork.
Lots of
A lot of
paperwork. Be sure those little ducks are in a row. And Mom did have that, which was I was so thankful for.
That, yeah, Death and Dying. I get confused sometimes because we also do one on the funeral.
Right?
Was it on Death and Dying when you said, okay, this may sound silly, but I realized I don't have a funeral picture?
Yeah, I think that was it. I think that was
And then before we could even finish the episode, here comes Tim downstairs with his phone out, snaps a picture of Sue and says, now you have a funeral
No,
picture.
I have a funeral picture. Yeah. And that's a good example of how even with these very difficult topics, we try to find some humor in them.
Yes.
And I think Death and Dying was about what your final wishes were. We talked a little bit about funerals, I think.
It was, getting the paperwork in
Yeah.
order, making sure that people know what your wishes are.
Exactly. And encouraging other people to please follow those wishes.
Right.
Especially the dying part.
Yeah.
If you have a DNR, please honor that.
Right.
Don't think, oh, I'm sure Mom wasn't really thinking about it when she signed this paper, and, oh, I'm sure she'd want us to do whatever we could. No, they signed that for a reason.
Exactly. And it's important to have a copy of that. Now, ours are on file now, I believe,
At the hospital, yeah.
But at the same time, your executor
Right.
needs to have a copy of that. This happened. Gretchen had a mini stroke at one time and didn't know anybody, anything, nothing. And so she ended up in the hospital, and of course Tim is there with her. And because we live in a rural community, at different times we do end up with telehealth, which has been an amazing thing.
It has
been an amazing thing. And this doctor was asking Tim, so does your mom want to be, when they put the tube down?
Oh, intubated.
Intubated. And he said, no, she does not. Then he asked, does she want CPR? And Tim said, oh, I'm sure she does.
Oh.
And then later, when she did come around, thank goodness, and memory is there and everything else, and she said, no, I don't even want that. She was already 93, I believe, at this time. And she said, no, I don't want that. And, oh, you haven't been for the doctor asked me.
Yeah.
We were talking about all the paperwork, having everything, ducks in a row and all that kind of stuff. He said, let me ask you right now, would you want me to do what I need to save you?
Uh-huh.
I thought, crap. Yeah, I do, because right now I'm still a young chicken.
Yeah.
I may be in my late 60s, but I'm a young chicken.
I know.
So that's interesting. So maybe always continue to communicate that piece of it.
Because I learned that from him, too, that some of these are life-saving measures, and some of these are life-prolonging measures.
Exactly right.
And I know I do, and boy, that's been my last visit that a year ago. That kind of clicked in my head. And so I do have to go back into my final papers and clarify that.
Oh, okay.
But the other thing, too, is letting those people who will probably be with you in those final minutes, let them know. And I think it was on this episode that I told you, because I thought it's been recorded, that I do want these things for life-saving.
Right.
But not for life-prolonging. And I don't know if that's a
fine
blurred
line.
area,
A little
fine
bit
line.
blurred. Oh, I think it would have to be.
Yeah.
Right. However, at the same time, to have that in writing, at least your loved ones know that they have some room there. They can make some choices, as opposed to just saving that person no matter what.
Yes.
So having those is so. I wrote that down. Life
Okay.
saving, life prolonging. I need to just always maybe once a year tell Tim and
review
the
that.
kids.
And I'll get at my paperwork. Okay, here's a sideline thing that's really stupid, but here in Alliance, do you know how hard it is to find a notary public?
Very.
Yeah. Usually you would think go to the library. Nope, they don't have one. So you have to go down like to the courthouse, to the county offices to get anything notarized. And
I wonder if those are being used less, too.
because so much of it's online.
Yeah.
And how do you notarize something online? I don't know.
I know it. Yeah, because Tim was a notary back in the day, because then you could go out and have him notarize as you signed something. And I'm sure they still probably have somebody there, because a notary is all about making sure that the person that's signing it knows what they're signing, and that person is who they are.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Huh. Well, look at that. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay,
here we go.
Death
Next
and
one.
dying. Okay, now this next one I see also comes from I Used to Be Somebody.
Okay. People are carrying your history. They know who you were. They know the difference that you made. And it's not that you used to be somebody. You're still somebody. You've got to remember that. And that's the positive part of this discussion. Okay.
Just a lot. We've touched on this a little bit.
Yeah.
Again, you will always be somebody.
Right.
And I loved when you said that about your legacy lives on.
Yes.
That's
Some
beautifully put.
Somebody's got you in their brain, in their heart. And we experience this every time we have a family reunion. We'll start telling stories. Gretch stories, or mom stories, or dad stories, or Max stories. So those things we have those memories. And by telling these stories, we give those memories to our children, our grandchildren.
Right.
And as long as those stories keep being told, you think of the Native Americans and how it was usually somebody's, and I'm not speaking from any kind of big, I know this to be true, but from what I've heard, there's a person in the tribe who is the storyteller. And that's their job. And as they're growing older, they pass those stories on to a younger person who then becomes the storyteller.
Yes.
And, okay, without getting real political here, I think it's important that we carry our history and we're not afraid to tell it because it's being erased.
We're going to jump.
Okay.
I think I'm going to jump down. This one was from What the Hell Is That? That was episode 10.
Okay.
I do believe that maybe we had at least one person that sent us a message that said that was way too much information.
Too much information.
So sorry about that.
Yeah.
However, it's the truth.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Here we go. Have you noticed, and I'm sure they're doing cosmetic surgery for this, but those women who, the stars and celebrities, and they have this cosmetic surgery on their faces and they're liposuctioning this and they're lifting that and plumping that. And from that part, yeah, they look 20, 30 years younger.
Exactly.
But you get a shot of their hands?
There is. And isn't that amazing that there isn't cosmetic surgery yet for the hands? The hands are very revealing, aren't they?
And there probably is, and it's probably becoming more common, but
probably
still.
So. Probably. I'm sure we were touching on all of our own wrinkles, and
yes.
I can remember me saying I have no eyelids left because they've all just, I don't know, sunk back in. I don't think you did it on this one. I'm looking right at you. You said, I've noticed my lips are disappearing.
Yeah, my lips are disappearing. And I think our sister-in-law Barbara said the same thing to me. I don't know where they're going, but they get thinner. But if I try to pooch them out, then I look like those teenage girls taking selfies with the fish face.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. But we talk about the hair growing on your face
yes.
and how it doesn't grow on your legs so much. And
the eyebrows that all of a sudden you have one that's 4 inches long and it's got a bend in it. Yeah.
It does. And mine, I keep looking at them. They go like to the middle of where my eyebrow should be, and then the rest of it is just not much there.
There's not much there.
So I've got these big quotation marks or something. I don't know what they are.
And this is when you can get really upset or you can just go ahead and laugh at it.
That's right. That's
and you
right.
might as well laugh at it.
I know. And that's another thing that through this podcast and just I'm getting so much more comfortable with who I am, what I look like. I'll never be 120 pounds. You will never be 5'7" again.
Never, ever.
It's who you are. Although I don't think I can give up my hair, getting my hair colored and everything.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
Not quite. No.
But all that will come in time at some point.
That's right.
Something will change our mind, and then we'll say, oh, forget it, just go gray.
What the hell is that? I don't care.
I don't care. Bumps and bruises and...
Oh, yeah. What does your hand look like?
Oh, right now it looks
that's
okay.
not bad.
No.
Yeah.
I bumped it against something the other day and bruised the entire back of my hand.
Yeah.
I bruise so easily.
Uh-huh.
I cut so easily, bleed easily.
Thin.
Yes.
Yes. And you were talking about even out at the golf course.
Oh, gosh.
You give these guys those Band-Aids, and then the Band-Aids tear the skin.
And they come in and they're like bleeding like crazy. It's not that they're that injured. It's just that all of us have thinner skin.
That's
and
right.
It does not take much to make it.
And it doesn't mean that we're insulted more easily. We just,
physically.
we have thin skin now.
We are thin skin.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's jump to, this one was from Our Kids Don't Want This Crap. Now, that one I expected to be so good, and it was good.
Yeah.
But I really thought my kids would all, I don't know, I'd change their mind. And they'd say, yeah, I'll take that china that you don't want.
Yeah.
No, I never thought they'd do that.
No, I don't.
Ever. Our Kids Don't Want This Crap was from number 6.
Yeah.
And here is Our Kids Don't Want This Crap. Oh, and I can remember that one. And so obviously a little over a year ago, I thought it was longer than that. And I said, I woke up one morning thinking, if my kids had to come in tomorrow, Tim and I are gone, they have to come in tomorrow, what are they going to do with all of this stuff?
Yeah.
And I thought, they're going to throw it in the trash.
Yes.
So why make them do it? And so I started going through things, realized I had 3 sets of china and a set of Christmas dishes.
Yes.
Now I'm down to 2 sets of china.
And have you missed any of it?
No, I haven't.
That's just it. And they say if you haven't touched it, I can't remember what the rule was that we looked at.
I remember you talking about 90, if you hadn't used it
30,
in 90 days.
Yeah.
And you weren't going to use it in another 90 days.
Yeah.
Get rid of it or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, because you don't. And that was another thing we talked about, that we were very thankful with Mom that she had moved quite a few times. Quite a few times.
Quite a few.
We had been through all the same crap for years. Years. And so she finally, when she did her last move, really downsized.
She did.
And it didn't take us that long to go through her stuff, get her place cleaned up, and have the garage sale, and we were done. And so we were thinking we want to have that for our own kids.
Do. And you know that the bigger the house or the more space you have, the more crap you have.
I know. Yeah.
So, and I will tell you that, like my Christmas closet,
yes.
I can open that up and it is half empty.
Really?
Yeah, I used to be, everything was bulging out and I was starting to put it other places.
Yeah.
But not now. Even the tree is under there. That used to be in the garage. Now it's underneath the stairs. So it's everything that we do is underneath the stairs.
Yeah.
And it's like half as much as what I had. So it makes me very happy.
And that, Christmas stuff, that's the hardest for me to get rid of. And yet it's been sitting out in my garage for 5 years. And then the whole time I was on the farm, it was in the basement. So we're talking another 6 years. Yeah, we're talking
it's time.
10 to 15 years that I haven't even seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I get rid of it, what difference does it make?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't work this way for everybody. We know that too. But
I understand
boy,
that.
for me, the more I get rid of, the better I feel. It's like a weight comes off my shoulders.
And off your kids' shoulders. Too.
And of course, they'd probably look around and go, "Oh my gosh, you have so much stuff, Mom."
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Because I don't know. Do you want to try one more?
Let's do one more. We're going to do this in a 2-part series,
yes,
aren't
we? Are.
Yes, we are. Because we
lots
love
of
2
memories
parts.
over the years. Yeah, over
let's
the
go
year.
Ahead. Yeah, so many good ones. Let's go ahead and do this one. This came from The Toys We Love. And The Toys We Love was episode number, was that?
I think that was season 2. It was right around Christmas.
Season 2, number 9.
Yeah.
So it was actually our 39th podcast.
Okay.
And it is The Toys We Loved.
Somewhere
on here. There it is.
Okay.
Although hula hoops have been around for hundreds of years, in 1958, Whammo Toy Company, remember that name?
Yeah, I do.
Designed a 40-inch hoop made of colorful plastic.
Okay.
Because of their unique marketing program, 25 million hoops were sold within a few months of its introduction.
Months. From a circle of plastic. Oh, the simplest ideas.
Oh, man. But
that's
and of course,
a fun
the bad
one.
thing with hula hoops, I don't know if you remember, but if somebody stepped on it or you did something and it bent, it was never going to work again.
It's like the water hose in your yard.
Yes.
Once it gets a kink in it, you cannot straighten that thing out.
Never. You ready for a shot?
I am.
There we go.
Yeah, it's a wine
Tonight's
night.
a wine night, yep.
Yes, and we're having amazing hamburgers later.
Yes.
Black and blue burgers, right?
Yes.
Oh, here I'm talking about food before we even finish here. So
let's finish our.
Okay. All right. I was thinking it's a good thing that they had a marketing department to name their things, because I don't think Circle of Plastic would have sold as well as hula hoop.
The name is so important, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. And we did a couple episodes like that were really fun, that we talked about things that are outdated, they're obsolete, whether they were toys or etiquette or whatever. And those were fun things to talk
Oh,
about.
they were. And I don't remember if it was in this one or if it's in Yet We Survived.
Yeah.
Which I think I have some clips from that one when I was talking about incredible edibles and flower power rubbery thing that you poured into a mold.
Incredible edibles. But
Creepy crawlers was another
crawlers.
one.
Yeah, Shelley had sent us what all those were called.
Yes, and that was the one time I'm looking that up. Those things got to 400 degrees.
Those plates.
Yes. And here we're sitting on the carpet
Oh, yeah.
with that thing sitting on the floor unsupervised.
Yeah, unsupervised,
And cooking everything that we could find.
And it never caused a fire. We never... And I know we keep saying, I know those things happen, but not to us.
Not to us. We made it through.
We didn't know we were being careful, but we were.
Sure. You forget the burns and stuff.
Yeah, those are all
cares?
healed. I don't think
Exactly.
we've got any of those going
Exactly.
on anymore.
Woo-hoo.
Yep. So anyway, this has been so much fun for me
Yeah.
to listen to these and think of how we have progressed as far as, of course, all the technical stuff. Definitely that.
Mm-hmm.
But just the ease
Yes.
we've talked about, and you just mentioned earlier, if this is all we had to do,
Oh, yeah.
come in, sit down, and talk,
Yeah.
because we're really good at that.
We're good at talking.
Yes, we
We're
are.
so good at talking,
Yes.
laughing. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So this has been a lot of fun for us. But I think we do really ask you to go back and listen to your favorites and keep passing on to everybody that we do have. When we did that application just now, how many followers between all of the different...
Like 80 or
Yeah,
we'll say 100
Yeah.
followers.
which isn't a lot, but you have to hit a follow or like or subscribe
Right.
or something.
Yes.
If people are just listening and going, "Oh, that was fun. I really like that," but not hitting those buttons, those don't show up in the statistics.
Those little buttons are so important.
Yeah.
They are. And of course, as always, you can listen to us on Podbean. That's what we upload to. We're also found on Apple Podcast, Podcast Addict, Spotify, YouTube, and on our website, unavoidable.life. Yeah. Like us, subscribe, follow, share.
Yeah, all of
Send
those
us a
things.
message, unavoidableaging@gmail.com.
Yes. Tell your friends, your neighbors, even your enemies.
There you go.
Yeah, they might even
Your
find
dog,
something
who
in
knows?
there. Yeah, hey, we don't know what they do when we're not home.
True.
I know it. Okay. Until next week, we ask always that you enjoy your life, laugh at yourself, and always remember you're not knocking futz, you're just aging. Happy Podversary! Woohoo! We
1
should
year.
have had some
Streamers or some kind of
streamers,
noisemakers?
something. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably
Woohoo!
got rid of those. My kids didn't want that crap.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.